It's June 27th, 2023. I'm inside of the local park. Today I showed up and right over here in the section, the flags are back. There's one here, one there, and one up here. So there's 4 flags. A while back I had called 311. Some of the flags had fallen. They had gotten very dirty and they were very tattered, and then they fell. They said that somebody would be out in 14 days. It wasn't. I called back to 311. It never got addressed. So today I walked into the park and they were all replaced, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. So I spoke to the New York City Parks Department. They're here now in yellow and black shirts, people that I've never seen before. They just showed up, but now they seem to be taking charge of some of the maintenance for the park, and I'm like, that's really wonderful, and I thanked her and I spoke to them. They were talking about some problems that they were having with parking and some other things that I didn't even know was a concern. So that was interesting. Then they were saying, this is the same person who brought out the first aid kit when the child got hurt yesterday, which I made a movie or a mention about this morning. Now, on my way to the park, there was this person who shook my hand and wanted to remind me to vote. And I'm like, now, I'm just curious because he's Democrat Party. I'm like, and he's, again, so, like, I don't, again, not part of the family that I know of, so I don't know what's behind this. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, now, he comes in and it dawns on me out of nowhere, because it says Democratic primary for New York City Council. And then I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, I gotta think about this. I graduated St. John's my last year. There was no like civics, whatever, like really given. But they graduated me with a high school diploma and some New York City Council position in my diploma, like hidden, tucked in there, and a New York State Assembly like merit thing stuck in there. And I'm like, now what does that mean? Like, as far as alumni goes, why have I never been contacted by the high school? Like, if there's things going on that I should know about, that, I mean, again, and so now they send this person, and I'm like, now why would they be electing officials if you graduated from the high school? And like, and then I asked the other mothers, I'm like, excuse me, I was like, did either one of you graduate a New York City high school? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, did you get a council member certificate or a New York State Assembly certificate in your high school diploma? They're like, no. And I'm like, right, okay. So I mean, like, they give you these papers, but they don't explain what it is, what it does, what it means, what they're used for. I mean, if there's any responsibility attached to them. And then I'm noticing, and I know that when Department of Homeland Security called after Alexander was born, right around that strategic management conference call thing that was going on with Armstrong, there was this, somebody else had called. That's when I think, like, there was like the Henry Maxwell, but then the phone number disappeared. I mean, all this confusing events, and there was maybe at that time Valone got on the phone with me. And I don't even know, I mean, like, I didn't know what an assembly person was. I didn't know what a council person was. I was living out in Suffolk County. And I didn't know what the phone call was over. They said I had some kind of partnership, and I'm like, could you mail me some papers? I was like, what does it mean? Like, how do I access the partnership? I mean, what do I need to do? Nothing ever arrived in the U.S. Post mail. Nothing arrived by courier. So that got confusing. And now I'm sitting here speaking to these two New York City Parks Department reps. Also, they're employees of New York City. And they're informing me of some stuff that's been changed to make things more accommodating for other groups, like handicap stuff. And I'm just like, when did that change? Like, who changed that? And then I'm thinking campaign-wise, whose campaign was it for handicap stuff? And, like, why does all of this stuff keep happening? And, like, what does it mean? And, like, with the changing demographics of the city, like, who's this driving force behind? And why am I not involved in any of this? Not because I don't want to be involved, just more so that I don't know I don't know who these, like, drivers are on this, whatever this is. But it dawns on me today after speaking to the two New York City Parks reps in yellow and black, like, because they kept saying, like, now I'm thinking in the back of my head, wait a minute, I just got this, it just dawned on me that I had this tucked into my high school diploma. And now he's saying, well, you got to call your city council person. And I'm like, wait a minute. But if you are a New York City council person, technically on the books, because you graduated from here for Homeland Security or domestic, whatever, in like a motherland kind of a way. But some other children are fighting over something maybe fatherland is doing. And I'm sitting motherland in a blind almost. Like, how does that responsibility, like, because I mean it's a double-edged sword system for which it's almost like this perfect soup for criminality to creep in. So I don't know. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know how to handle the discovery of it. I don't know, like, I don't know the rules of engagement have not been pronounced or given. Certificate was given. I don't know if somebody had some expectation, but they certainly don't use my phone number to call me to let me know what's expected in like a payroll way. Whose payroll should I be on at the US? So everything's handled correctly. I mean, is the US fighting with the federal note children and system? I don't know internally, but I don't know how to rectify this for myself and stay safe. So I don't know what else to do. I'm grateful though that they put the flags back up. I don't know what this is about. I don't know if this is some new rules of engagement where only they listen to elected officials for some other purpose. I mean, this one came through with Democratic approval. I don't know, is that the whole Democratic Party? Like, I mean, again, I've had problems. I've been harmed several times by the donkey system. I don't know, like, if the elephants look for that kind of stuff. I don't know. Again, which state, I mean, I'm in New York State. I don't know which, like, where's the pecking order in this system. I mean, at Apex, APEX, I don't know what to do with this. But I hear, from my point of view, the argument of sitting as like a merit, like I'm not the electoral, but I'm the merit issued certificate. There's nobody calling me on the phone, nobody alerting me of what needs to be done. I'm getting sick. I'm in the situation. There seems to be competing populations moving throughout this territory. And I don't even know where to begin in order to gain back like information or intelligence. It's just, it's like a whole bunch of like rogue civilizations are competing for something, and I don't even know what. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxies, broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.